Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome back to the Cricket Happening Show. And on this Cricket Happening Show, I'm going to talk about the great escape or the great fight back that Australia showed. Probably when this match was starting today at the Ranchi cricket ground on the final day, with the Australian score on 23 for 2, one would have expected that the Australians would be. As I said, there were a lot of roughs created. India had two spinners, Jadeja and Ashwin. It was the final day, but nobody would have expected that the Australians would really put up a gallant display, in the sense it was something of sort of a stonewalling which was done by Australia to actually draw the match. And that was something which one could have expected, yes, definitely, but also the fact that they were 23 for 2 the previous night and they were reduced to 63 for 4, and that is the time India would have thought that, it's just a matter of probably taking them to 2 sessions and then getting a sort of a victory target in front of them. But everything was grounded to the dust by a wonderful display of batting, especially by Sean Marsh. They were left at 63 for 4. This is what happened. Matt Renshaw and Stephen Smith, Matt Renshaw and Stephen Smith in the middle, and they were the ones who were the big threats, because Matt Renshaw can really show some good defense, and Stephen Smith himself, is in some great form too. But when the day started today, that's on the final day, with them in 129 runs still to actually make India bat again. It all started with Ishan Sharma bowling very well to Matt Renshaw, where he tested him with some short deliveries, but Matt Renshaw was absolutely equal to the task. Stephen Smith, there was a clear game plan here by the Indian captain Virat Kohli. He was telling the Ishan Sharma to actually bowl the balls wide outside the off stump, so that he could keep them there, not allow them to make runs. So there was a clear plan there, no doubt about it. So Renshaw and Stephen Smith started. It definitely showed that they definitely wanted to save the match. One thing was very sure, and that was the only way. And so they decided to really be very cautious. As that was happening, finally, after Ishan Sharma had really troubled Renshaw with some short deliveries, finally what he did is he actually brought a ball back to Matt Renshaw, and Matt Renshaw was gone. LBW bowled Ishan Sharma for 15 with 1 boundary. That was 59 for 3, and with only 4 runs added, Ravindra Jadeja was into service, and Ravindra Jadeja, as I said, he was the main threat. And what he did, he picked up a very big wicket, that of Stephen Smith, where Stephen Smith was actually padding the balls which were coming on the leg stump, but this was one of Jadeja's deliveries which had a different route to take, and Stephen Smith in the process thought that he could actually plod at the ball, in the sense he could actually pad at the ball from Ravindra Jadeja, but that particular ball from Ravindra Jadeja had lots of turn in it, and it defeated Stephen Smith, as Stephen Smith could not believe it, as he was clean bowled by Jadeja, as he did not stretch a full length forward, and that really, he didn't take a long stride, and that enabled the ball to go and turn and hit the stumps. And it was a scene where India would have been very happy, because the main threat would have been Stephen Smith, and he was dispatched to the pavilion by Jadeja for 21 with 2 boundaries, and the score read 63 for 4, and it was a very shaky situation for the Aussies. After that, it was Sean Marsh and Handscomb. Now this is the one which really what to say. We have seen some great innings coming from the South African Faf du Plessis, so I will also put this particular, one would have definitely understood that against Australia, the South Africans, du Plessis and AB de Villiers staged such a wonderful act on the final day, as you would remember, in a particular test match. And I think this will also go down as one of a great acts in cricket, because from 63 for 4, Sean Marsh and Handscomb well, one has to say they showed lot of patience, and India would have thought that they had half the job was done, but they were absolutely wrong. As Sean Marsh and Stephen Smith plodded on, blocked every delivery. They started playing the spinners. They were very careful with Jadeja. Ravichandran Ashwin was also taken care of, and it was absolute stonewalling by Sean Marsh and Peter Handscomb. And one has to say that it was a very, very good display. It really left the Indians totally frustrated. The first session yielded them 2 wickets pretty quickly. After that, till lunch, they never got any wicket. The tea session went off without a wicket being taken, as Handscomb and Marsh really buckled down on a very, very serious task to had 124 runs. Look at the occupation of the crease from these two batsmen. In fact, look at Sean Marsh. He made 53, consuming 197 deliveries with 7 boundaries. Handscomb was not out on 72 of 200 deliveries with 7 fours. And this was a master display. As I said, this will go on as one of the great acts of cricket, no doubt about it, especially considering that 124 runs were added. I mean, the score was 63 for 4 in the 30th over. Just imagine this, that they played almost more than 60 overs. So 360 deliveries to thwart the Indian bowlers, especially on a pitch where India had 2 spinners, Ashwin and Jadeja. There were a lot of roughs formed on the spots. Still, India couldn't take advantage. And besides that, this is the final day of the match with lots of wear and tear and footmarks there. But still, one has to really, really commend both these batsmen, Sean Marsh and Peter Handscomb. Absolutely hats off to them for performing. What an act they performed. They took the score from 29.1 overs at 63 for 4 to 187 with tremendous stonewalling. And in the end, and then finally in the final session, when the score reached 187, so basically they had taken a lead of 35 runs. It was the Marsh wicket. Jadeja was the one who picked up the wicket of Sean Marsh by getting him caught by Vijay. He was gone with 7 boundaries, but Peter Handscomb was really going very strong there. Maxwell came in, but Maxwell could not do much. He was gone for 2 of the bowling of Ashwin, and Matthew Wade came out. But what a display, what a partnership from Sean Marsh and Handscomb, which really, really saved the day, saved the test for Australia. And finally, when the match was over, Australians played the whole day to give India absolutely no chance, and this was a tremendous display of batting as far as stonewalling was concerned. And kudos to both Sean Marsh and Handscomb. And Stephen Marsh also played himself into some form. 53. Handscomb has not got a single 50 under his belt, and what a timely 50, and what a very, very valuable innings he played for his team. Even though Sean Marsh departed, Handscomb was there to handle things there. Still another 9 overs left. Handscomb was not out on 72 with 7 fours, and Handscomb definitely promises greater things to come with this tremendous display. And one can say now that Handscomb has probably cemented his position in this Australian team with this display of batting today. Matthew Wade was not out on 9, 204 for 6. The third test match at the Ranchi, which was holding its first ever test match, ended in a draw thanks to that stonewalling from Sean Marsh and Peter Handscomb. The 4-match series now level, still at 1-1, with the final match, which is coming up at Dharamshala, is going to be something that both the teams will have a chance. So how beautifully this Border Gavaskar Trophy series is set. If Australia, I'm just trying to confirm that, but as far as I know, that if India win, they can retain the Border Gavaskar Trophy. But if Australia win, or Australia even draw the match, I think the Border Gavaskar Trophy will lie with Australia. So it's going to be interesting. And looking at the bowling, Ashwin 30 overs, 10 minutes, 71 runs on 1 wicket. Really a surprise that Ashwin could not pick a lot of wickets. Jadeja 44 overs, 18 minutes, 54 runs on 4 wickets, returning 9 wickets back. He did a tremendous job. Look at the bowling figures of his 44 overs, 18 maidens, 54 runs and 4 wickets. And one has to credit the Aussies for really dealing with Jadeja in the best possible manner, absolutely guarding their wicket and making sure that there were no mishaps. Absolutely. Umesh Yadav 15 overs, 2 maidens, none for 36. And Ishan Sharma bowled 11 overs, no maiden, 1 for 30. And Cheteshwar Pujara for his double century, his third double century in Test cricket, took the man of the match award. It was the right choice. But definitely, what a match we had here. I mean, as I said, now it's a matter of both the teams really well set as far as the final Test match coming up at Dharamshala is concerned. You can't have a better ending. I mean, you can't hope for a better end to a trophy of a Border Gavaskar Trophy series like what happened. And I have to say, the Indians would have been totally disappointed. Stephen Smith, the Aussie captain, has already pointed a psychological arrow on the Indians by saying that they really thwarted the Indians. Oh, for sure, why not? Definitely, one has to agree that the Aussies have Aussie batsmen definitely thwarting the Indian bowlers and actually making a great act over here to actually draw the match, which probably one would have imagined, but not to an extent that what happened today. Probably one would have thought if Stephen Smith was not out, the experienced bloke would have taken them. But to see Sean Marsh, yes, definitely has the experience. And now one thing is also getting very clear here as to why the Aussies decided to persist with Sean Marsh. It's because of his good skill of playing spin. And today it was absolutely out in the open. And I think the Australian selectors are absolutely justified in getting Sean Marsh to India. And I think it was a great move by the Aussies. And Sean Marsh and Handscomb definitely for me were the heroes of this particular Test match. No doubt about it. What a display. The way they actually thwarted the Indian bowlers. Really, one has to say, they added 124 runs in 60 odd overs, and 60 overs to be there at the center, at the middle, blocking them, guarding your wicket, playing strokes. It's not an easy thing, especially on the final day with roughs created. So one has to commend the skills of and the experience of Sean Marsh, and also some wonderful skills coming from Peter Handscomb. Well, on this note, it's about time for me, dear fans and subscribers, to actually end this cricket show by bidding you all a very good night. Thank you.